jet flying overhead. Watch him target us. Fly low. What? What?
Yeah, he targeted us. All right. He lived through that. Are you shitting me?
What happened? My game rubber banded. I saw him flying in, and then my game just paused.
The guy in the jet just directly flew right at us, and right at the last second, like I just saw him fly into us and blow up, and then him standing.
What is going on, guys? Craig 1287 here, bringing you yet another Battlefield 4 gameplay. Going on there in the background is going to be, well, not really anything that special. It's a round on Silk Road, and just rocking out some amazing tank gameplay, trying out the new field of view for the third-person camera on tanks, making it just a little bit easier to see things that are around you, maybe get C4'd less. But what you guys are going to be seeing is just some standard 1080p video in 30 frames per second. However, on my end, I am playing this on my newest monitor, and it is glorious. I've in the past two-ish years, I've been rocking out on a BenQ 120 Hz 1080p monitor, and it's been awesome. Making the jump from 60 to 120 was awesome. I hadn't gamed at frame rates that high since back in the early 90s with CRT monitors and how unpredictable they were, and small screens and weird resolutions and noisy, high frequency ringing noises they would make. LED, LCD, much better than CRT. But the negative was the frame rate, the refresh rate of the screen. But so making the jump from 60 to 120 was awesome. I love the BenQ monitor. Still using the BenQ monitor. It's my second monitor. But it pales in comparison to this new monitor that I got. I got the Asus RoG, which is Republic of Gamers, Swift. Not really sure what that Swift aspect is. I guess just to emphasize the speed of it, but I don't really know. Yeah, the Asus RoG Swift PG278q. And what this is a 2560 by 1440 or 1440p or 2K resolution. Beautiful screen. It's the same size as my previous one, 27 inches. So basically, the pixel density is much higher because you're fitting twice as many pixels in as much space. So I don't need any anti-aliasing. There's almost, I mean, you can. There's almost no jaggies at all with zero anti-aliasing going on. The refresh rate on it is 144 hertz. So I'm playing games at 144 FPS, whereas all you guys can see on YouTube is 30 frames per second. Hopefully soon YouTube will continue making the push towards 60 frames per second, and you can at least see that, because higher frame rates are just glorious. But it's also got a 1 millisecond response time, which is awesome. The time at which it takes things to go from black to not black to it's the pixels. They actually change color really quick, and it has G-Sync, which that is the new thing for me. Yes, I'm going from 120 to 144, which it's it's an increase. It's not the greatest increase, but it's G-Sync. This thing is amazing. I've now got that high frame rate, that fidelity of just seeing so much visual information, and now it's smooth, has no synchronization jaggies where your GPU is producing a frame rate that is different than what your monitor's displaying, which would be 60 or 120. And so because of that distinction, that difference between the two, that miscommunication, you could call it, between the GPU and the monitor, you don't have this aspect of your GPU loading screens in before your monitors had a full chance, a full frame to display it, and you get those jagged lines. That doesn't happen anymore, nice. And I don't have any input lag. I cannot tell the difference between this G-Sync and playing a game back in the day with no V-Sync at all. I mean, it feels so natural. I don't have any latency in my mouse movement. This monitor is simply the greatest thing ever. It is so good. I was more excited about getting this monitor than I was for building my current computer that I have, and any computer probably before that. I was that excited about it, and it has paid off. I did not overhype it at all. In fact, I underhyped it. This thing is simply stunning. I mean, just going onto Windows, looking at my desktop, and dragging windows around, just moving my mouse around, using Rocket Dock, everything just looks so smooth. It is just amazing. I do plan to make a video that has the unboxing and my full review once I've actually put it through the test to see really how good G-Sync is in all sorts of different games, whether it be racing and action RPG, in first-person shooters, third-person shooters. I'm really gonna put it through the test, and I'm gonna try as hard as I can to not be biased. But my bias is not really coming from I have not really dealt with this in the past, so I don't really have a reason to be biased. It's just actually really that good so far. My first impressions. This is less than 24 hours that I've even had this monitor, and so yeah, I plan to get as much of that done, but there's not really much I can do to help to convey its quality to you. I can describe what the experiences are like, but unlike on YouTube and through sharing photos where you can show visual fidelity, if you upgrade from a 750 Ti to a 980 GTX, it's, you can show that in gameplay. You can show now I've got ultra texture quality and all that sorts of stuff versus the medium that I was rocking out with the 750. But that's about it. Then you can show that. But for frame rate, for this fluidity that this monitor offers, I can't show that to you guys. I could record 144 gameplay with Dxtory and upload that as a raw file, but even then, if we're going around YouTube's 30 frame rate capture or display limitation, but you're still going to be limited on your own monitor. If you have a standard monitor, which most people would have, a 60 hertz monitor or TV, you wouldn't be able to see. You would only be able to see 60, so it would look a lot smoother and crisper because of the less compression than if you were to watch this directly on YouTube, but you're still capped at 60. And really, the change from going from 60 to 120, even 144, and then throwing that G-Sync in there, which just ties every frame together flawlessly. I cannot convey it. So I've got some footage of the unboxing. I'm gonna try to get some screenshots with my camera. I guess it's not just a screenshot. Weird way it's a photograph, not really a screenshot. So I'm going to try to get some photographs of it on my desk. You can see just a size comparison. I'm going to try to get some close-ups to show the difference in the size of the bezel. That's the part that goes around your monitor or TV. You want a very thin bezel. It has a very sleek look to it, but if you're someone who uses multiple monitors, then having a thinner bezel helps to reduce that, kind of breakage that you have between your two monitors or your three monitors. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna try to get a review, quote unquote review. I mean, I'll definitely give you guys my thoughts on it. But again, there's only so much that I can convey. I mean, doing a review for a game, I can actually show you gameplay. I can show you clips of the story playing out and the gunplay, the mechanics. I can show you the menu systems and things like that. And that's what it is. Obviously, you're not getting to feel what it's like to actually play the game. That's the big distinction between games and film and book and music, is everybody who reads a book reads the same book. Same with watching a movie. It's the same movie you're all watching. And song, you're listening to the same song. But for a game, you play Battlefield 4. I play Battlefield 4. It's going to play out differently. You got the sniping. You could be a close quarters guy. You could be a melee only guy. You could be a nade spammer. You know, it totally changes your experience for your gameplay style, but also how you look around. If you're a high sensitivity or low sensitivity, high field of view, low field of view, locked at 30 frames or 60 frames versus 144. So I can't really convey that in visual form to you guys as to what it actually looks like on my end, but I'll do my best. I'm gonna take, like I said, I'm gonna take some time and just bask in the glory of this monitor and actually try to get a solid review out for you guys. I mean, there's already been enough reviews. This is one of the most anticipated monitors probably in my lifetime. I don't really think there's ever been a monitor highly anticipated. I mean, when 1080p came out, but it wasn't something like that one company that made a monitor like that. When 4K came out, it was, you know, a lot of companies actually was coming out with 4K, but it was locked at 30 frames, and there was a lot of other limitations to 4K, so it wasn't this hot spectacle. But this monitor, hugely anticipated, so I've already talked enough. I'll probably just, when editing this video, I'll just let the whole round play out. I believe it's a 28-minute round. It's actually really lengthy. Nah, I'm going to edit it down. This is a 10-minute talk, so I'll edit it down to 10 minutes, but guys, I'll get some stuff out there so you guys can see what this monitor is like. I'll get some photos and show you the difference in the size of everything on my screen. Everything's so teeny tiny. The text is very small. All the icons are very small because they're pushing more pixels in the same amount of space, and icons don't change how many pixels it takes to make that icon. So everything gets shrunk down, and it's awesome. Looking at Excel spreadsheets on this monitor is awesome, and I know that sounds incredibly nerdy, but as someone whose job requires the use of a lot of Excel spreadsheets, then it's very handy. This is going to help to streamline a lot of work things. So hope you guys have enjoyed the gameplay going on in the background, even though it's locked at 30 frames and 1080. I will say I am going to start recording in 1440p. That is something I will change. I just, when I hopped into Battlefield, I actually just like an hour before that got in the monitor, and I didn't actually have the foresight to go into my Dxtory settings and to change it from recording in 1080p to 1440p. So, but that has been altered now, and so future content will actually be at a higher resolution and a higher bit rate, thanks to being able to use the 10 megabits a second rather than the 8 megabits a second that YouTube caps their 1080p videos at. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed all of it. Have a good one. Ta-ta.
I don't know. My army pays me.